everybody that is watching this. My name is Cheyenne Dingus and welcome to the very first episode of Tea Time Talks, where every Tuesday we come together, we sit down, sip on something good, and we talk about real things that you and I are facing in our day-to-day lives as young adults, trying to achieve our most healthiest, happiest, successful selves. Okay? We're gonna talk about everything, challenges, obstacles, things that you don't really hear about. That's what I wanna talk about. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in, you wanna listen to it on your way to work, or you wanna listen to it while you're working out, whatever the case, go ahead and subscribe and tune in with us every Tuesday. I'm so excited about this, guys. This is my first episode and I'm so excited. Thank you for being here. All right, you guys, so before we get into the topic, I think it's very important that each time we go over what we're drinking, because it's Tea Time Talks, you know? I wanna know what you're drinking. I'm sure you might wanna know what I'm drinking. And so, oh my gosh, I almost spilled it. I am drinking a matcha green tea, and it is bomb. I added in almond milk, and then I added in honey, and it's just, it's like the perfect amount of sweet. It's not like too sweet, and it's not too like unsweet. It's just right there in the middle, and it's so bomb. And honestly, I'm trying to figure out new ways to kind of like spruce up my matcha. So if you have any recommendations, please drop them below, because I need all the recommendations I can get, honestly. So what are you drinking? Are you drinking something right now? If not, what are you doing? Go to the kitchen and make yourself something right now. It doesn't have to be fancy, just something that's yummy and it makes your heart just happy, okay? So do that. And if you're on the road right now, if you have time, stop by a Starbucks. And another important thing that I really want to make sure is known before we get into the video, I'm not a professional. Like, I'm not a professional therapist. I'm not a professional advice giver. I don't even know if that's like a thing. I'm not in any shape, size, or form a professional at the things that I'm talking about. I'm just simply a girl that is going through some of these obstacles, and I'm voicing my opinions, my thoughts, my perspective on things. The goal in these videos is really to make sure that you guys know you're not alone. And the point is for everybody to come in here and support each other, you know, give good words, and just help each other out, you know? So I just wanted to make sure that was known. So let's get into the video now that we know that. So how are we doing today? I'm not asking it in like a way that is just handed out throughout the day. You know, when we go into work and we go into a store or wherever, hi, how are you? You know what I mean? And it's just like, I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm good. And a lot of the time when we say that, we're not. We're just saying it to get by, because we don't want to share everything that's on our mind right now, all of our troubles, thoughts. We don't want to share that, you know? We don't want to put that onto them, especially if they're just a stranger, you know what I mean? So how are you feeling? What I challenge you to do right now, obviously not if you're driving, do this when you're done driving, if you are. I challenge you to get a notebook paper, okay? Or notebook, whatever. And I challenge you to fill out one whole page. That whole page needs to consist of everything that is on your mind. Everything. Like everything. Everything that is on your mind right now. All your troubles or things that you're happy about. Maybe you're in a great mood right now. I want you to write that. The point in this paper is just to put everything that's in your mind right now onto the paper, kind of just like releasing it so that you can kind of just breathe. It's such a great habit to do. I've done it every day. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, there's been times that I've fallen off with it, but then when I get back onto it, I feel great. My mind just feels kind of cleansed in a way, you know? Like, you know that feeling you get when you're cleaning out your closet, like of clothes, and you just kind of feel like a little less cluttered, and you're just like, I could breathe. Well, that's kind of the same scenario with putting all of your thoughts onto this notebook paper. It helps a lot. So I challenge you to do that. Give it a shot. The second thing that I challenge you to do is write down 5 goals, if you haven't already, 5 goals that you have for the week. It's really important that you have those things to look forward to so that you have motivation and ambition to take on your week and be your best self, you know? We got to know what we want to tackle, what we want to be better with, you know? That's how we grow. So that's what I challenge you to do. 1 paper of your thoughts and then 5 goals at the very end of it. Now, as you guys have seen in the description, you know what we're talking about. We're talking about grief going into the holiday season. If grief and loss is something that is very triggering for you and you just don't really feel like you want to talk about it, totally understandable. I'm giving you kind of like a heads up now. Just go ahead and leave the video and we'll catch you next Tuesday. Okay? Like, seriously, I totally get that. But if this is something that you think you're ready to listen in on, then this is it for you. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So we're entering the holiday season. We're literally right slap dab in the middle of it. It's November. And we probably have like a lot of emotions going on right now. Grief is such a tricky thing. A little background about me. The morning of my 17th birthday, I lost my mom. Okay? She had a stroke. I was the one that found her. It was really hard for me. My birthday is December 8th, so right in the holiday seasons, right? And I'm 22 now, about to be 23 once December 8th comes. And I still struggle with grief. I still struggle with approaching the holiday seasons, trying to be my most, you know, excited, cheerful self. And the crazy part about it is I love the holidays. I have always been somebody that loves them. But when you experience such a hard loss, it can be challenging at times. I think the most important thing to highlight is there's no time limit on grief. Grief can go on for like years. Like I said, I'm about to be 23. This happened on my 17th birthday. And there's still like, you know, times where I'm just struggling. I'm like, wow, this sucks. I miss my mom. That's why I feel like it's really important to talk about this. I feel like a lot of us probably feel this way right now. Loss isn't easy. And it's especially not easy when our family members are wanting us to like, you know, come home and stuff like that. And you're just bombarded with all of these memories. You're glad that you have these memories probably, or I am, but it's still hard. I literally cannot go back to my hometown without feeling like insanely heavy. I'm from Georgia, and so like I moved right after I graduated high school. I moved out of state, and every time I go back for the holidays, I feel heavy because all these roads that I'm driving on, or I'm driving by my old house, and I'm just like, wow, these are things that I used to do with my mom. And we get those feelings with the holidays. Maybe the person that you lost was somebody that you decorated with, or you would cook these like super yummy meals that only that person could like nail spot on. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. It's super important to accept your grief, acknowledge it, don't ignore it. And it's super important to know that your healing is your responsibility. That was something that I really had to like come to the realization of. It is my responsibility to find my healing. And it could be in multiple ways, whether that means that you go and seek therapy, whether that means that you find a hobby and things like that to support your own healing. Now, how can we approach this holiday season just not feel heavy? If there's things that you do, like right now, that work for you, please leave them down below. That's the whole point in this video, is to kind of share the things that we do, that I do, you do, to help get us through and be stronger. So if you have something that you do, comment it down below. I'm gonna give you an example of something that I do. So my mom loved decorating. We celebrate Christmas. We loved decorating, okay? She loved it. She was just really, really good at it. We didn't really have the money like that to go like full out decorating, but we made it work with what we had. And it was always just such a good feeling. And that was kind of like, you know, something that I still try to keep alive, like after she passed away. I made it like a huge priority that I had at least a Christmas tree. Didn't have to be this big, extravagant Christmas tree, but I made sure I bought one. And I made sure that I got like ornaments and stuff like that we would usually use. And I get myself so excited about it. And I think that's something that really helps me get through the season. That's just me though. I typically like to get my boyfriend Tyler. I'll get him to decorate with me. And he knows it makes me happy. And I'm sure that he can pick up on like, you know, this is just something that I have to do and get excited about to kind of just keep my spirit going. And so maybe that could be something that you do. Find your, like, you know, your support system, whether it be your significant other, or it be your friends, or it be your family, you know? Like, everybody's situation is different, but it is important to have that face-to-face support. And so that is something that I do. I make sure that I get flipping excited about decorating each season, even though it is hard. I play these songs like as I'm doing it, or I'm like drinking coffee as I'm doing it. I'm just thinking like this is literally what my mom would be doing. It hurts, but it helps, if that makes sense. So let's tackle what we've talked about so far. It's important to acknowledge your grief, accept your grief, feel it, that you take your healing into your own hands. You're responsible for your healing. So whether that means that you find hobbies that make you happy, you know, you're taking care of yourself physically, okay? It's really important. I found my hobby. My hobby is like hiking, it's kickboxing, things like that. That's what makes me happy. So I make sure that I try to incorporate that into my day-to-day. The next thing that is important is keep those traditions alive. If you had a tradition that you would do every year with the person that you lost, keep those alive. You have no idea like how happy it makes me when I get finished with decorating my Christmas tree. Because I imagine like my mom's like look on her face, like looking at the Christmas tree and just saying like, wow, you did great, Cheyenne, you know? And you know, there's times where I'm playing the music in the background and I'm decorating and I feel her presence there, you know? Those traditions, keep them alive. Not just for yourself, but for those that you lost. You think that they want you to just stop doing them because they're not there with you? That is so false. I know I don't know you and I don't know, you know, who the person is, but I do know traditions are everything. And so keep them alive. It's still possible to find your joy during the holiday seasons. It may feel impossible right now, but it's definitely possible. But you have to take the action on it. You know, you have to take the action on it. Accept that grief is there, okay? But also accept that healing is possible. You just have to take the step, you know? Find your support system. If you're very spiritual, I'm a very spiritual person. I pray so much, and that has helped me. I remember when I first had to go the full holiday season without my mom. You know, when she had passed away, it was that Christmas, you know, but that next year when it was Halloween, Thanksgiving, then Christmas, you know, tackling all of them together, gosh, I felt so low. So low. I wasn't taking healing into my own hands. I was just, mad at the world. But you gotta realize when you just have the attitude of being mad at the world, that's not doing anything for you. It's not helping. It's just making yourself feel lower and lower and lower. We don't want to stay like that. We want to find things that can help us grow and move forward with the grieving process. Maybe you're in an argument with yourself thinking, if I start to, move on, that means that I'm, kind of like forgetting about who I lost. I remember I used to have that thought. I was just like, I'm going to keep on going on with my life being happy without my mom being here. No way. I was just like, I felt guilty for thinking that I need to be happy. Like, isn't that insane? Of me to think that? I felt guilty. It's completely normal. I'm sure that you've experienced it too. But I was just like, Cheyenne, no. If anything, you should feel happy that you're trying to move on with your life and make the best out of it without your mom. Because that's what my mom would want. My mom put me and my sister's happiness before everything. She was the most caring mother ever. And what sense would it make for me to keep myself feeling this low sadness all the time when all she wanted was for me to be happy? So yeah, I picked myself up. It took me time and I'm still struggling with it, but I did it. And I challenge you to do the same. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in to today's very first episode of Tea Time Talks. I hope that it helped make some type of positive impact in somebody's life. And if I missed anything in today's video, please comment it down below and let's talk about it. Let's help each other out and just be that positive voice for each other. Happy holiday season. I hope that you're able to go into this season full of joy and find your happiness, find your healing, and just make the absolute best out of it, and just know that I am rooting for you. We got this. Thank you for being here with me today, guys, and I will see you next Tuesday for our Tea Time Talks. Bye, guys.